So you sent out like 50 resumes and still you did not hear anything back from the hiring manager or from the recruiter, and you start doubting yourself. Maybe it is a gap, maybe because I'm outdated, maybe I'm not good, maybe the job market is not good, maybe. But 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 think about it, the real reason is something you can fix in 10 minutes. So, hi, I'm Neha Seth, career revival coach for women and job seekers restarting their careers after a break. और आज हम बात करेंगे एक्चुअल मिस्टेक्स की, जो मैं खुद देखती हूँ। मे बी 10 रिज्यूमेज में से 9 रिज्यूमेज में वो गलतियां होती हैं, स्पेशली फ्रॉम यू द टैलेंटेड वुमेन. Okay, so let me tell you how to fix them with the simple tactics that will help you land more interviews much faster. Mistake number 1: starting with the career objective. So क्या करते हैं बहुत सारे लोग, they write career objective, looking for a challenging position where I can grow this. Guys, this is outdated and this is vague also. Employers doesn't care what you want. Okay, so use a professional summary instead. You can customize it to your new career goal. You can write down what you are with the number of years of experience, with your niche, whatever expertise you have. And you should also write you are returning to the workforce after this with the updated skills in such a expertise or such a area where you are. And write down this in your professional summary. So when you write this down, you show that you are valuable, and then you have transferable skills and also intention even after you are having a career break. Mistake number 2: you hide the gap like it's a crime. It is not a crime, guys. Okay, having a career gap is not a crime. So if you are leaving 4 5 years or 1 to 3 years blank years on your resume, recruiter is confused. Recruiter thinks that, oh my god, why this gap is there. So instead of recruiter to think about the gap, why the gap is there, you just write it down why the gap is there. It just own the gap. Okay, with the short line under that period, you may write from this year to this year career break, and then a vertical bar, and then you can write focused on full-time caregiving, or you can write on if you have done a freelancing project, or if you have done a certification course, or if you were on a sabbatical, then mention the number of years and mention that you have volunteered with the NGO. And if you have upskill, then show that. So why this is important? This is important because it shows that you were active during your career break and you own that gap. Okay, and you show that you were growing during that period, you were not sitting idle. Okay, number third mistake what people do is that they list the responsibilities and not the outcomes. So nobody's concerned about your KRAs in your resume. They are more concerned about what results did you bring out. Okay, so if you have handled any client calls, if you have made reports, if you have done some admin work, nobody is interested in that. Nobody wants to memorize that. So the fix here is that use the quantified results. Okay, they are more interested if you have reduced the errors by some percentage, or if you have increased the revenue, or if you have decreased the cost, if you have worked faster. So you can mention the number 15% faster efficiency or something like that. Even if you were not paid during your break, you can write if you have done a pro bono, or if you have done volunteered for some program or something like that. And there also you can mention the metrics. So metrics are that important. So maybe you have organized a campaign, a fundraiser campaign, in which you have raised certain funds in certain time or a time. So always remember that when metrics I say, you can mention it in percentage, you can mention it in the time, okay, and you can also bring in some values, some numbers. So the employers and the hiring managers, they're most interested in the numbers. Okay, now coming to mistake number 4. So you are using the same resume everywhere. So no one size fit alls. Okay, so if you are sending all the resumes, one resume to all the employers or to all the hiring managers, that doesn't fit. Okay, because you have to match the right kind of keywords in the job description. So there are power keywords in the job description where you have to customize your resume with make a match to those keywords, and don't make a force match to the job description. Okay, so if the if in the job description it is mentioned that vendor management, and if you have handled vendors but you are not writing that, you are writing stakeholder management or something like that, then there is no keyword match. So always make sure that the keyword is matching, because job is asking for a particular term called vendor management. So do that, do make the said kind of change. So if, for example, if the job is asking for team collaboration kind of word, okay, and if you have collaborated with so many teams, cross functional teams and everything, but you are not using the right kind of word, instead of collaboration you're using some other words, um, team team meetings or something like that, then what is happening is you are not matching the right kind of keywords. So what you can do is here, use free tools like JobScan, or even you can use ChatGPT to find out if the how to pick up the right kind of keywords or the power keywords. Now let me tell you the mistake number 5. Mistake number 5 is what I see on a lot of resumes, is that there is no LinkedIn link, or if there is a link, that is the dead link, or if there is a link, the URL is not optimized. Okay, so recruiters want more context. Okay, so always make sure that your LinkedIn is there, your LinkedIn URL is there, and that too, if it is optimized, then that's very good. So add your LinkedIn URL, and if you are adding the LinkedIn URL, then also optimize your profile, which is very important. And I have recorded a lot of videos on how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. So use optimized LinkedIn URL, and instead of having the non-optimized LinkedIn URL. Now mistake number 6 is that your skill section is very weak. Like if you are praising yourself like, I'm a good communicator, go get a person, hardworking team player, so recruiters see this 1,000 times a day. Okay, so use specific tools, certifications or frameworks. Don't self appreciate yourself, just mention the kind of skills you have. Okay, like the expertise you have. And also there should be 80-20 ratio. 80% should be your technical skills and 20% should be your soft skills, which you have. Okay, now let me tell you that if you are coming back after a career break, and you must mention a career comeback highlight box. So that is a tip here. Add a short highlighted box, or a section named career comeback summary, maybe at the top, because recruiters spent like 6 seconds. So it should be placed somewhere above, somewhere on the top, because it instantly get the attention of the recruiters and they get to know about your story, and stories are very important for a recruiter. So always have a career comeback summary. Maybe you can summarize that I have, after having this much years of experience, or after having a career gap of this many years, I'm now returning to the workforce again, and I have upskilled myself in this certification, whatever your certification is, or maybe you have freelanced during that time. So you should also mention that I'm ready, I'm excited for the new role. Okay, so your break is not your weakness, it is a part of your story. And when your resume reflects your value and not just your past, you will open the doors for yourself. So, if this video helped you, please like this and subscribe it, so that I can come up with new and valuable, massive value videos for you. If you are ready to restart, just click in the description below and come to on my free clarity call. Thank you.